This is how the pits happened. As we were in break, we go down to Adam Alexander.
Matt Crafton running third when the caution came out. There was never any doubt if they were going to come down pit road, but hopefully the crew chief said, what do you need? Matt said it's pretty good right now. So what they did, pump up the air pressure, trying to make Matt better on the short run. They did get 4 tires, top off the fuel tank, and Matt feels now they are good for a run, possibly at the checkers, Ray.
And Adam, for the 33 of Ron Hornaday, absolutely no adjustments, but as you watch the 13, lug nuts fell off again. So Johnny Sauter losing positions on both round of pit stops. He lost 2 on the first one, dropped 4 spots, and he's very, very angry on the radio right now, telling the guys how difficult it is to pass at this racetrack, and he's asking them, please find a way to start helping me on pit road.
You gotta believe, Phil, he cannot win this race now. That mistake on pit road took away the chance he had of winning this race. It's just too competitive and too hard to pass.
Remember, Johnny Sauter, as we see our Aaron's lucky dog of Donnie Lee, remember Johnny Sauter qualified 9th. It took him 85 laps at the beginning of this race to get to 3rd. Right now, he's going to restart in about the 8th position, and we have 55 laps left.
Well, race fans, Sunoco's Free Fuel 5000 is back. Just get your Sunoco decal, put it on your car, get spotted, and win. We've got spotters visiting every participating Sunoco, and if we see you with it while you're there filling up, you'll win one of thousands of instant prizes and a shot at the grand prize, 5,000 gallons of Sunoco fuel. For more information, go to GoSunoco.com.
That's a lot of gas.
That is. I want to be at the gas station when that happens. Free fuel.
Short track racing taking place here tonight, but how about going to the Tricky Triangle next week?
Well, it's only 4 times bigger than this track.
Yeah, we're going to let these guys stretch it out a little bit. Put that foot down on the floorboard, and I believe they can about go through the tunnel turn at Pocono wide open, and I can't wait to watch it.
And remember, qualifying will be different. This is the first time NASCAR has ever tried this new procedures for the Camping World Truck Series at Pocono.
Yeah, well, I can't wait, really. The qualifying order is going to be based on the final practice speeds. That means the first truck that goes out is going to be the slowest truck from practice. The very last truck is going to be the fastest truck from practice. That means we will not know who's going to be on that pole till the last truck runs.
There will be more than 1 truck on the racetrack at any given time as well. We could see 3 trucks out there qualifying.
I'm going to say 3 wide in turn 1 right now. We got guys on that second row with new tires, a couple of guys with used tires on the front row. This is going to be big.
Green flag back in the air. Timothy Peters with a great restart. Jason White on the inside. Kyle Busch on the outside of Jason White now. He makes the move for second.
Remember, Timothy Peters and Jason White were 2 of the trucks that stayed on the racetrack.
3 wide coming out of turn 2, and Ron Hornaday thought better of it. He checked up.
Ron's going to pull to the outside of Jason White. Now, is he going to go to the middle?
He wants to be in the middle so bad he can't stand it. He about put it there in the middle of 3 and 4.
And he bounced off the wall coming up at 4.
So a little aggressive coming out of turn number 4, but he's holding on to the 3rd spot now behind Kyle Busch.
Jason White's trying to hold these guys off. We know they all have fresh tires. There's Matt Crafton going by on the outside. There's Austin Dillon racing below the 90 of Brad Sweet, the 30 of Top O'Nine.
There's Johnny Sauter after the lug nuts fell off on pit road. He's marred back in that traffic, and look at all the trucks he'd have to pass to get back to the lead. It's just not going to happen tonight. That's how important every aspect of these races are, especially when you're in the truck series. The races aren't long. You make a mistake, it'll cost you.
If he would have had fresh tires and everybody else in front of him didn't, maybe he had a shot coming from 9th. It's not going to happen.
Todd Bodine continues to run the bottom of the racetrack. Timothy Peters doesn't have as fresh a tires as the 18 of Kyle Busch, trying to hold him off up front. Austin Dillon moving to the inside of the 23 of Jason White.
Austin gets a great run through the center of the corner, not quite able. Yes, he is able to clear Jason White for the 5th spot.
50 laps of racing remain here at ORP. Kyle Busch looking to make the move on the outside of that 17. Ron Hornaday holding on to 3rd. The 88 of Matt Crafton running 4th.
Timothy Peters so far doing a great job. He has about 20 laps more on his tires than the rest of the guys do.
But you called it, Phil. He's been able to maintain. He's always sideways, though. Kyle Busch clipped him in the back. I think he got a little loose on entry, and Kyle got into the back of him.
How about Hornaday now moves to the inside of Kyle Busch?
Kyle Busch had to check up. Here comes the 33 of Hornaday. Hornaday battling for second on the inside of that 18 of Kyle Busch. Side by side for second, just in front of him, the 17 of Timothy Peters. Now, Hornaday going for the win and the lead.
Slide job by Ron Hornaday.
What a move by Ron Hornaday. Hornaday takes the spot. Could that be the winning move of the night? Well, Kyle Busch might have something to say about it. Here comes Kyle Busch. He takes second away from Timothy Peters.
I'll tell you, Ron Hornaday felt a sense of urgency. 45 laps, 47 laps, clicks by pretty fast here.
And you know a good truck all night long is that 88. Look at that through the center of the corner. He's so fast. Ron needs to put some gap on that 88. We saw in the long run early in the going. He was there on Ron's bumper when the caution fell. He'll have a chance to do that again.
We saw Ron in the middle of this race. Once he got out front, check out. Now the 81 had problems. David Starr just got into the wall.
He's racing with Johnny Sauter coming up turn number 4.
Need to remember that.
Johnny crowds him a little bit, bounces David off the outside wall. You know, Johnny right now is driving like a man possessed.
Probably got a bit of an attitude. A couple of bad pit stops. Had a truck that he thought he could win the race with, and that chance was taken away right on pit road.
And I don't blame him.
These things are so hard to win.
Ron Hornaday has done it 3 times here at this very racetrack, looking to make it 4, but it would be the first win of the 2010 season for Ron Hornaday if he can hang on. Kyle Busch running in the second spot, just about a truck length behind Hornaday.
He was a tick faster that time than Ron Hornaday. Ron Hornaday is not prone to make very many mistakes, but if he makes one now, Kyle Busch is close enough to pounce on him.
Running in the 3rd spot, Matt Crafton. Timothy Peters has dropped back to 4th. Austin Dillon is running in the 5th spot. Just behind them, the 90 of Brad Sweet.
What about Brad? A couple of races here last night. He ran in both divisions. Just getting his feet wet in the truck series. Came to a track that he knows. I'll be darned if he didn't run in the 6th spot. It's a great run.
For the Big Cat is his nickname in the open wheel division.
Johnny Sauter aggressive to the outside of the 30 of Todd Bodine.
Can't make that work. Todd's real quick to close that door. I hope there isn't a foot in it when he tries to close it one of these times.
Austin Dillon now trying to get by Timothy Peters. That's a battle for the 4th position. Austin Dillon's maturity and his great season continues. You mentioned earlier, came off of 4 top 10s in a row and maybe headed towards another one.
We said a rookie on a roll, 7th in the points coming in here. Still got a shot as a rookie, I think, to pull this championship down. Look at what Ron Hornaday is doing tonight. He was 6th in the points. He's dominating the race right now, trying to close on Todd Bodine. Todd's all the way back in the 8th spot, and you can see the 31 is all over the 30.
And the 13 of Johnny Sauter was just able to get by Todd Bodine for that 7th position. Watch as you see Johnny now drives to the inside. Todd also goes to the inside. They're going to make a little bit of contact. Johnny gets in the left rear quarter, and then he's going to jump in the throttle and drive by.
And you better make sure you're able to get some gap on a guy when you do that. You stick around, you might have to pay for that tap.
And don't think that somebody like Johnny Sauter is not going to realize that Todd Bodine is the point leader. He knows that if he wants to get in a shoving match, the penalties should be great, so he takes advantage of that.
Austin Dillon trying to work on that 17 of Timothy Peters. How's Austin doing, Ray?
Doing just fine, Rick. And you know, as I listened to the 3 truck in practice, they really had a lot of problems finding the middle ground. The truck was either really crazy loose or it wouldn't go through the center of the corner. They couldn't get it into the center. But a lot of the help that's gotten this truck better tonight has come from the spotter stand. Andy Houston's been helping Austin roll through the corners, talking to him about his braking points, and has really talked him through this race tonight. And Austin just said a little bit ago, Andy, keep it up. Everything you're telling me has helped this thing get faster and faster.
Look at that move through the center of the corner, able to drive on the bottom of Timothy Peters. Good line for Austin Dillon. I like the way he's going about this. Staying well away from Peters, making sure he doesn't get loose and slide up into him. Going to have to complete that pass because if you look to the outside, here comes Johnny Sauter, and he's on a mission. Austin could lose that spot if he messes around too long.
There's 1 and 2. Ron Hornaday in front of Kyle Busch. Now he's put about 3 truck lengths between the 2 of them. That's 4/10 of a second on the clock. Crafton running 3rd. Peters is 4th. Austin Dillon in 5th.